Maybe Muta was a bad choice. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if it's hard to say it was the wrong choice. It's just it's just a tough map, no doubt about it.
But yeah, maybe because he had 3 cannons on his third base, so all I did was kill a few probes in the main, and then my mutas were just melted. I couldn't even kill one Colossus before they all died, so
Hmm.
I think I think Corruptors would have been better. But
Possibly.
either way,
Either way, it is what it is. You cool to take a few questions?
yeah, sure.
All right. Let me just pull up the old email because email questions are easier than stream questions.
But yeah,
Um,
like, Steps is just like a super hard map.
yeah. Yes, I definitely agree there. I don't think I've won a ZvP on steps ever. I'm going to try to filter through here and find some ZvP questions, and then if we have time left, I'll ask a few of these other ones. Everybody wants to ask about ZVT. John asks, what's a good initial response to early Stargate play before and after the upcoming patch?
I think it doesn't change much, the patch. So I think you want to get a fast lair because you should be able to establish that he is going Stargate and not doing some like super aggressive builds. So you can go fast lair, just get the Hydra Den out, skip the roaches, just get the Hydras first to deal with the Stargates, and then transition into a normal game. Like we said earlier, Infestor Hydra Roach is good if it's Void Ray Colossus. If it's Void Ray plus Gateway units, then you can just stick to Roach Hydra.
Really? Roach Hydra. Alright, that's cool.
Yeah.
Against the pure Void Ray Gateway units, I've been going a Hydralisk Infestor almost solely and just using lots of fungals to keep the zealots off.
Yeah, that's good too. But I feel like Hydras need a meat shield.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
pure Hydra without Roach, I think is not very effective.
Alright. Here's a question. What do you think in ZvP, but also in ZvT, of the prospect of a third queen solely for the purpose of creep spread?
The third queen's good. Sometimes you can't afford it if they're being really aggressive. But if you're like kind of at a lull in the game and you don't know what's going on, then getting a third queen is very good CVP because it could be Void Rays, could be Phoenix, and then it helps. And of course the creep spread helps a lot as well.
Alright. A lot of Protoss players love to do these 9-minute timing attacks. I assume he's talking about maybe a 6 gate.
Yeah,
Is that coming out
five
in
six
9
gate
minutes?
sounds like.
What tips do you have for dealing with it? Force field is obnoxious.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, that's we've seen that in our games today as well. I mean, Roach and Burrow is the perfect counter to a 5-6 gate attack without a robo. So that actually, if they do that and you go Burrow and Roach, that puts you in a very good situation.
Cool. Could you talk a little bit about your feelings on the Ultralisk in ZvP? And do you feel like Roach Ultra Ling would be a good idea?
I think the Ultra is only useful with infestors because it is so slow and so big that you can only use it if you can surround the army of your opponent. So you need to fungal it first, and then ultras are insanely good. But without infestors, the ultras are just going to get kited, and they're going to run around really clumsily, and just they won't do much. So if you make ultras, you should always make 2 or 3 infestors as well.
Cool. Rhett, with patch 1.2, we're going to finally be allowed to customize our hotkeys. Will you be remapping any hotkeys? He also says, Idris said he'll be changing his backspace key so that he can use the backspace larva spawning method. Will you be doing that?
I haven't really thought about it too much. I don't think so at first, unless someone comes up with some really effective hotkey layout. I'm too used to the way things are right now, so I don't think I'm going to change too much. I can imagine changing the larva inject key though to like maybe R or T, like something close to where
Yeah,
your queen and hatchery hotkeys would be, so it's easier. But I don't think I'll be changing too much.
All right. Um, do you mind talking about your series with Suzanne and giving some insights on what happened there?
No, not at all. Although it does make me sad.
Yeah.
um, First game, standard 14 gas, 14 pool, opening against 15 hatch. I decided not to make a lot of Zerglings early because I felt like he would have roaches on ramp in time, and he did. So it transitioned into like a normal 2-base CVZ.
Mm-hmm.
I had my Overlord behind his natural minerals, checking on drones, and I felt like I saw quite a few drones, like maybe as many as I did. So I misjudged the situation and thought he was droning harder than he was. And then when the roaches came out, it was a big shocker to me, and obviously I didn't have enough time to respond and get enough roaches in time. I should have started roaches maybe like 6, 7, or 10 drones earlier, and I would have been okay.
Yeah.
Second game, once again, 14 pool, 14 gas against 15 hatch. This game I made more links and pressured him early, and was able to run around and pick up a bunch of stuff, and then just kill him with Roachling right after.
Mm-hmm.
And then game 3, which is a really sad game, 15 hatch against 14 pool, 14 gas from him. And I saw him move out with 6 lings and plant down a really fast expansion hatchery. So I decided to alternate from everything I had been doing in practice, which is just making 6 or 7 roaches and put them on my ramp and play it safe. I decided, he made such a fast hatchery, he's probably skipping banelings. So I went for the really fast speedling upgrade and only made 2 or 3 roaches. And I wanted to send them forward and then just follow up with the lings straight after, like just start attacking because it's a really small timing window.
Mm-hmm.
So then when I saw the first baneling, I was kind of like, oh shit. And then on top of that, like 7 or 8 lings that I had sent forward, they got stuck behind a little river, like in front of your natural in Zelnaga. There's just a little open area, and they got stuck there. So then a baneling killed all of those, and I just got overrun by ling baneling. That's what happened.
That's tough, man.
Yeah, it's sad. I mean, I shouldn't have changed. Like I had practiced a lot of games on Zelnaga, and every time I would play against that build order, I would just play it safe and get 6 or 7 roaches. But for some reason, when I was in that booth, I decided to change everything, and it didn't work out well. So it's unfortunate.
Well, that segues into the big question. I don't know if you've been asked it yet, but what does this result do to you staying in Korea?
Well, I'm probably just gonna stay because I feel like the series I played 2 days ago is not a good way I could leave.
Can't go out on that.
Although it is actually very tempting to start playing in Europe, just because we're out here in Korea and we got like 1 game a month, and that's pretty much it. Like we can't do any tournaments and everything like that. And in Europe, there's so much going on.
Right.
So it's really tempting to start playing in Europe again, just because there's so little to do in Korea. But I feel like the last series was so unsatisfying for me that I got to try a little bit more, and I'm going to try another GSL. But I don't think it's going to be till March, so I'm going to have a very boring 2 months ahead of me, just lots of practicing and trying to get ready for that one series again, I guess.
Are there really no small tournaments happening in Korea in between all this?
No, there's really not much at all. I mean, there was the Play XP tournament, and I got to the final of the qualifiers, and I lost 2-1 to OGS Zenio. So I didn't qualify for that. And then, other than that, there's nothing. So it's really kind of sad because you play 1 best of 3 in a month, and StarCraft 2 is such a volatile game that can just it's not very satisfying for me. But I'm gonna try hard and go 1 more time at least.
All right. Well, let's take it back to some game questions. Rhett, how do you deal with High Templars with Storm? I sometimes play games where I let the toss player get 6 or more High Templar, and they just crush my Roach Hydra Ball completely. I know I'm supposed to not... Wait, I know I'm not supposed to let him get that many, but if it happens, how do I properly counter it?
Yeah, I play those games too, and I end up losing them too, so I don't know, but I think once it's late game Templar, you just gotta counter it with Yeah, if they don't have Immortals, Ultras is a good counter. If they have Immortals, then stick to Brute Lord, circling. Um, Try to be smart about the battles you're taking. Try to engage in good positions. Try to run like Zerglings around the map. Stop expansions. When the Protoss gets their full tech available, it's less about massing up and beating their army. It's more about countering them and killing expansions and stopping them from getting more expansions, and then eventually you just want them to run out of money, and that's how you want to win those games. I think the Protoss full tech army, just as Zerg, you can't really put anything against that, so you just got to change the way you're in the game and just try to win like a starbout war and try to stop him from expanding, kill probes, stuff like that.
All right. I'll ask you one more question, and then I know we're about out of time, so then I'll let you do your thing, and we'll check out. Um, Protoss is going Zealot Cannon Rush. What the hell am I supposed to do?
Not 15 hatch. I think with the 14 pool gas opening, a Zealot Cannon Rush should not really be a problem for you. Because he can still wall your ramp, but then you can just make a roach warren, get 6 roaches, and bust out of that. So I don't see how Zealot Cannon will ever be a problem if you open safe.
So if he does wall that ramp, and if you do have to tech to roaches to bust out, are you not behind? I mean, he's got a safe expansion up there.
Yeah, I think you're almost always behind on if you get part on the off. The problem is for Protoss is they don't know when they see the 6 roaches. They don't know are 6 more roaches going to come, are 20 Zerglings going to come. So you just want to give them as little information as possible. And if you don't want to all in them, you want to expand, you just gotta make it seem